my name's Milo. Today we are going to learn about my favorite artist named William Wegman.
Good.
If you don't immediately recognize this man walking his dogs down a New York City street, you might recognize the dogs. This is William Wegman, the painter, photographer, and filmmaker, famous for the photos he takes of his beloved pets. The photographs are funny, beautiful, mysterious, and always original. They've graced the pages of countless books and magazines and museum walls for more than 30 years.
Stay.
Wegman says even though he has always been a dog person, he didn't set out to photograph them.
My first wife wanted a dog, and I didn't. I was too busy as an artist, being an artist. Usually I don't look for meaning.
Wegman studied painting in college and grad school in the 1960s, and he still paints today, creating intricate paintings that incorporate found postcards. He didn't take up the photography he's become more well known for until after grad school.
I remember flipping a coin because I wasn't really sure. 3 out of 5, tails will get a dog. And it came up 5 out of 5, it was tails, so it was destined.
Wegman named his dog after the artist Man Ray. He was a large hunting breed called a Weimaraner.
And so I took him to my studio, which was natural, and I took his picture, which you would do with your newborn or whatever, and it was kind of magical how he became. He was kind of transformed by the act of photographing him. I was a little wary of photographing the dog because it's sort of a gimmick, and it could be construed as being lazy or whatever. So, but he kept giving me more ideas.
And the ideas just kept coming. And so did the dogs. After Man Ray, there was Fay Ray, and then her offspring. Wegman has worked with 14 Weimaraners in all. His work became wildly popular. The photographs sell for thousands of dollars and are exhibited all over the world. He's published almost 40 books, including more than 20 children's books and a New York Times bestseller on puppies. His most recent book was published earlier this month, William Wegman, Being Human, the largest collection of his work ever published. There are videos and short films, too, starting with quirky conceptual art videos from the 70s, like this one, where Wegman's teaching Man Ray how to spell.
And you spelled O-U-T right, but when it came to beach, you spelled it B-E-E-C-H.
This one is real pretty.
Wegman's dogs have appeared on Saturday Night Live.
Okay, who wants to pitch? Faye.
And they've appeared on Sesame Street.
A.
The world of high fashion has also embraced the dogs. This past summer, they appeared in French Vogue, modeling clothing by designers like Gucci. Wegman lives and works in the Chelsea neighborhood of Manhattan with his dogs Flo and Topper.
Well, we're downstairs in the basement where I keep the props.
His basement is filled with decades worth of costumes, trinkets, and props that he's used to create his elaborate scenes.
I believe this is the jacket that Batty wore when she was walking her mother, Faye, in a piece I titled Dog Walker.
Where do you find all this stuff?
We have a place upstate, and there's stores there, Salvation Armies and so forth. There's yard sales.
In his studio upstairs, Wegman and his longtime assistant Jason Birch prepare the set.
Yes.
To make it look like the dog's actually wearing the pants, they shape them with plastic and foam and tape the pants down onto the stool.
I'll do it.
Wegman explains that the dogs are naturally good at standing still because they're pointers, dogs bred to freeze and point to an animal being hunted in the woods. To get this shirt to fit right, Wegman cuts up the back. Birch provides the human hands and arms. Wegman has tricks for getting the dogs to look where he wants them to.
I have photographed humans, not probably my strength. I like looking at and touching dogs, moving their head around or giving them direction. They expect me to talk to them and move them around.
Do you think the dogs enjoy this work?
They love to work. They like to be picked. They want to be the one up on that you're looking at and talking to. Did it? Hard one. Super good. In fact, I have to pretend If I'm working with Topper, I have to put Flo nearby on a pedestal so she thinks she's working. She's probably wise to the fact that she's just a stand-in, but that's second best is okay too in that circumstance.
You get really close to these dogs emotionally.
Yeah, they're in on everything, and I'm never without them.
Even though Wegman now works with digital cameras, most of his career he worked exclusively with a 20 by 24-inch Polaroid camera.
You say Polaroid camera, we're not talking about a Polaroid that somebody might have at home, right? Can you just describe what the camera's like?
The camera is the size of a big refrigerator, and it's housed in wood, and it's quite beautiful actually, but very rickety and fragile.
Only 5 such cameras were originally built.
Back legs have to be moved back.
When Wegman worked outside, he hauled the huge camera in a truck.
Stay.
The large sheets of instant film could be viewed immediately. So Wegman could then make changes to his dogs or the set. The catch is that there's no editing or touching up the photos later.
It's surreal.
So if there was a blemish, Wegman either lived with it or didn't display the photo. Wegman took about 15,000 photos with the Polaroid, many stored here in his studio. He recently went through every box, cataloging and digitizing each image.
And the process was pretty amazing because I'd see each dog get younger and younger, the next wave of dogs, and it was really moving.
The project took more than a year, and Wegman discovered photos he'd completely forgotten about. Many had never been shown.
And I wanted my dogs to they could be funny, but they also had to be beautiful and more mysterious, even when I made them tall as people. This is kind of funny. I just noticed that, but there's a reflection of a dog in that. Can you see that? That's pretty amazing.
You didn't notice that before?
No, I never noticed it. Yeah.
Let's get ready to make our own Weimaraner art. How would you like to dress up your Weimaraner? Will it be an astronaut, an artist, a skateboarder, a baker, a doctor? Who knows? It could be anything you like. First, gather your supplies. You will need a white sheet of paper, the printout of the dog's faces. If you aren't able to print them out, you could also draw them yourself. You will need a glue stick, pencil, black Sharpie, or any black marker or even a black crayon will work, a pair of scissors, and something to color it in, like crayons. Step 1 is to choose the size of the dog's face you need and cut it out carefully. Step 2 is decide where you need to put it on your paper. Carefully use the glue stick and paste down your dog's head on the paper. Step 3 is to use your pencil and draw your dog's outfit. After drawing your dog's outfit, you want to think about details to add to the background or the setting of your picture to show where your dog is. My dog is going to be an artist. So after I draw his outfit and some details, I'm going to add the background, which will be the dog's art studio. Step 4, trace over your pencil with a black Sharpie. If you don't have a black Sharpie, you can always use a thin black marker or a black crayon will work too. When I use a black Sharpie, I like to take a large eraser and just clean up my picture right before I color. And the last step, of course, is to color it in. Take your time, color neatly. I'm going to use crayons for my drawing.